Today we will be discussing about the importance of reading Srila Prabhupada's books and utilizing the human form of life. In this connection, I am quoting a verse from the 7th canto, 2nd chapter, verse number 12. Where Hiranyakashipu has already decided that I want my assistants to go all around the material, all around this world, and he gives instructions also to them that wherever there is good protection for the cows and brahmanas, wherever the Vedas are studied in terms of the Varnashrama principles, he tells them to go there and set fire in the places and just cut from the roots the trees there which are the source of life. When we read the translation, we get the feeling as to how this translation is connected to reading Srila Prabhupada's books and utilizing the human form of life. But very interestingly, as we go down and finish this purport, then we can understand that. Prabhupada starts the purport by describing the cows and the brahmanas, that the cows are like mothers and they should not be killed. They should not be slaughtered unnecessarily in the slaughterhouses, because they are like our mothers and they are to be respected. But nowadays people are just indiscriminately killing all the animals in the slaughterhouse, which is not a good thing at all, which is not at all accepted or not at all injuncted by the Shastras. And also it is said that there should be a perfect Brahmana to guide a Kshatriya who can rule, and there should be Vaishyas who can train the cows, who can not train, produce food and protect the cows. Then people can live peacefully, otherwise it is impossible. And also now we are coming to the actual point by saying Prabhupada says that trees should be given protection. During its lifetime, a tree should not be cut for industrial enterprises. In Kali Yuga, trees are indiscriminately cut and unnecessarily cut for industry, in particular for paper mills that manufacture a profuse quantity of paper for the publication of demoniac propaganda, nonsense literature, and huge quantities of newspapers and many other products. This is a sign of a demoniac civilization. Now we are again seeing this point that trees should be protected. And now in the modern world, trees are mainly being cut because the first of the many reasons is that the forests are being deforestation is taking place to free the land for human survival, upon which we can grow build skyscrapers on that land, and humans can live there. And the second reason again is which Prabhupada mentions in the purport, that paper, we are cutting trees for paper, and with that paper what we are doing, we are manufacturing a profuse quantity of papers which are used to print nonsense literature, which are demoniac and which only increase the level of the anarthas, and they don't help in any sort of spiritual advancement. And huge quantities of newspapers which have only and only which have mostly bad news. There is practically no good news in the newspapers nowadays. And also many other paper products which are again demoniac, nonsensical. They are mundane literature. So this is a sign of demoniac civilization. And Prabhupada mentions later that if the paper mills stop producing paper, then how can our ISKCON literature be published? Then after that, Prabhupada says that the paper mills should manufacture paper only for publication of ISKCON literatures. And he also gives the reason also. He says that ISKCON literature is published for the service of Lord Vishnu, and this literature clarifies our relationship with Lord Vishnu, or this Krishna, the Supreme Lord, and therefore the publication of ISKCON literature is the performance of yajna. Yajnartat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. He says that yajna must be performed as indicated by the superior authorities. The cutting of trees is simply to manufacture paper for the publication of unwanted literature is the greatest sinful act. So so he says that work done as a service for Lord Vishnu must be performed, otherwise work binds one to this material world. So and the main point that we had to discuss in today's discussion is that we should read Srila Prabhupada's books and utilize the human form of life to go back to Godhead. Otherwise, what is happening? We should connect to the roots. Example is plant green leaf and yellow leaf. So the yellow leaf is the leaf which is not connected to the plant, which has been removed from the plant. But the green leaf is the plant. The green leaf is part of the plant which is flourishing. The plant is growing. The roots is transporting water, minerals, etc. to the leaf, and that's how the leaf is able to survive. But the yellow leaf is not connected to any source, and that is the reason why it is withered away. So if we don't connect to the source, that is Prabhupada's books, if we don't connect to the source, that is listening to the lectures of the spiritual master, serving the spiritual master, then we will become like that yellow leaf which has been cut from the plant. But if we stay connected, then we can become we can glow, we can have a lot of spiritual sukriti. We can go back to God and serve the Supreme Lord in better conditions there. Also the one more thing is that we should always only focus on Prabhupada's books and think of going back to Godhead, because ayur harati vaipumsam udyam astam chayana hasau tasya nitah kshano nitah uttama shloka vartaya. This is the shloka which is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam only. It is said that ayur harati vaipumsam, the udyam astam chayan hasau, the sun is rising and setting every day and is taking the life of all the people on this planet away, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. We are just aging. So the sun is rising and setting and taking away our life. And tasya nita kshano nita uttama shloka vartaya, that the person who is glorifying the Supreme Lord, who is chanting the names of the Lord, and who is preaching about the Lord to others, that kind of a person, when the sun is rising and setting, he is getting one day closer to going back to Godhead. He is not getting one day closer to death and going to hellish planets and going to other life. He is getting one day closer to go back to Godhead. So he is the most fortunate person. So that will happen only when we are self-realized, when we read Prabhupada's books and listen to the lectures of our spiritual master. And also there is this example of a crocodile in the water. The crocodile in the water is when it eats in the first its prey, in the first chew it eats 10% of the prey is in the mouth, and in the next chew it's 20%, then in the next time it's again then it goes to 45%, like that. Then after some time, like 100% of the prey is in the mouth of the crocodile. Similarly, we can compare ourselves to this situation where the river or the pond in which the crocodile is in, that is the material world where we are coming to enjoy, because we want to take vacation. So similar to Gajendra, we entered the pond inside. Gajendra also entered the pond or the river. We also entered the river, but Gajendra, when he was eaten, that time he realized that he was eaten. He's being chewed. But if we are being chewed, we are bleeding. Even then, we are not realizing. So what makes me say this? It's the fact that the water or the pond, it's like the material world, and the crocodile is the time factor, and we the prey of the time factor or the crocodile is us. So the crocodile, every day, minute after minute, day after day, hour after hour, it is just continuously chewing, and we are getting closer to death. But Gajendra, the sad part is that Gajendra realized that he is being chewed by the crocodile, but we are being chewed. We have been in the same a trap over and over again, but still the mind tricks us. This time we'll be happy, and we just are being chewed by the crocodile continuously. We are getting one day closer to death, getting closer to death from time to time, and getting closer to getting into hellish planets, suffering the reactions, and going into the other 84 lakh species of life, and suffering in those species, and so we won't be able to get actual liberation or actual service of the Lord if we are continuing to read this mundane literature, and if we are continuing to speak all the mundane things. Also in the Mukundamala Stotram, Srila Kulashekar Alvar, he mentions a very nice point. He says, Ascharyametadhi manushya loke sudham parityajya visham pibanti namani narayana gocharani tyaktwanya bhasha kuhaka pathanti. He says that Ascharyametadhi manushya loke Sudam Parityajya Visham Pibanti. This thing is the most surprising thing in the whole of mankind, that human beings who are supposed to be actually very sensible, they should be able to discriminate between right and wrong, but they are ready to drink poison in giving up and giving up nectar. Sudham Parityajya, giving up nectar, Visham Pibanti, drinking poison. And Namani Narayana Gocharani Tyaktwanya Bhasha Guhaka Patanti. The name of Lord Narayana, the scriptures, the spiritual literature, everything is a source of nectar. The devotee who preaches about the Supreme Lord, hearing from their mouth, is also a source of nectar. But leaving all of this, we tektva anya bhasha kuhaka patanti. We are busy in every other thing that a person can do, but we are not ready to do this one thing. Every time, whenever the topic is about spiritual life, we just try to change the topic. But when it is material, when it is talking about the anya bhasha or the extra unwanted prajalpa, then we are too much attracted by Maya to engage in it. So thus we should read the literature so that we get some sense of understanding as to how can we lead our life in the scriptural literature like Srimad Bhagavatam. This Srimad Bhagavatam glorifies the Supreme Lord and glorifies also the devotees of the Lord. That it also gives very nice examples as to how we can properly nicely execute our devotional service and so many important points are given. Even in the Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna mentions many important points that all of us as devotees have to take into consideration, so that we can serve the Supreme Lord nicely, get his pure love or prema, and then go back to him finally. So thus it is a duty for us to read all these scriptures, and we are obliged to do this. Then we have to read this scripture and go back to Godhead. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare